The 2019 Jamhuri Day celebrations will be forever remembered as the first time in the history of the country when the Chief Justice of the Republic of Kenya has been in the country but has still boycotted the celebrations. Yep, Chief Justice David Maraga, the man who made history by being the first president of a Supreme Court in Africa to nullify a presidential election, was missing. And so was Nairobi Governor Mike Sonko. But I'll come back to that in a minute. First, let me draw your attention to something else that was different this Jamhuri Day. Actually, something that confirms a complete change in the way President Uhuru Kenyatta's administration runs the country. For starters, let us appreciate the fact that traditionally in Kenya, national holidays have never been the place to make serious policy statements, let alone a change of policy statement. The Housing Fund Levy, which was introduced to fund the president's Big Four agenda, specifically housing, the building of cheap housing, has been very unpopular and controversial since it was introduced. It required the mandatory deduction of 1.5% from all salaries in the country. The president directed changes in the law to make it voluntary, which is another way of saying that the aim is to have the housing levy fund abolished. Because who pays voluntary taxes? Maybe I need to be educated. Where in the world does a government have voluntary taxes? Where a company or an individual decides whether or not they're going to pay a certain tax or a levy. The president also dwelt a lot on measures to ease the burden Kenyans are undergoing at the moment, as well as to help the economy recover as quickly as possible. Bottom line, a lot of sweet music in the ears of long-suffering Kenyans, which is good. Anything to ease the suffering of Kenyans, anything to take the country forward, of course, must be welcome. But still, very strange items to appear on a presidential keynote address on a public holiday. You see, since the Jubilee government came into power in 2013, this has been a no-nonsense government. A government that does not back down or succumb to any pressure from the public. And that is why many Kenyans have always felt it is a government that is out of touch with the reality on the ground and the real plight of Kenyans. So the question must be, why was the president talking a different language during the Jamhuri Day celebrations? In my view, it suggests a change of direction and policy by President Uhuru Kenyatta's government, which is a super interesting political development. Actually, one would be forgiven, maybe a visitor from Mars, one would be forgiven for being sure that this is President Uhuru Kenyatta's first term in office. Because all over the world, a president on his first or her first term usually goes easy, talks the people's language, and then on the second term, forcefully pushes the agenda forward, bearing in mind that they have very little time left in office and they're not going for any re-election. In my view, it is a reaction to current political developments in the country. And these developments include a stubborn new opposition that does not involve Raila Odinga, but instead involves Team Tanga and Deputy President William Samoei Ruto. This brand new opposition that has taken many Kenyans by surprise, operating deep within the Jubilee government, has taken its toll on the government being able to fulfill its mandate of implementing policy. It seems that President Uhuru Kenyatta's administration now wants a clear edge over this opposition in quotes. And they want to get it by being people-friendly. Or shall I say, voter-friendly on a second presidential term, which is unheard of, but very necessary under the circumstances. But if you think that I'm saying the president is going soft, then think again. Actually, on the contrary, there's plenty of evidence to suggest that the president is getting increasingly impatient with the opposition, the tanga opposition. For instance, Governor Sonko, who's out on bail but not allowed to access his office, was conspicuously missing from the Jamhuri Day celebrations. Still, the president took the opportunity to pick up from where Senator Johnson Sakaja left off concerning conflict of interest. Lawyers who are senators representing a governor charged with corruption. And the president went much further to announce the introduction of a new conflict of interest law, which he has directed to go through cabinet approval and then on to parliament to be made into law. Now, Sonko was clearly being defended a lot by mostly tanga lawyers. Of course, the team also included two prominent Wiper lawyers. But in my view, despite denials, very strong denials from Kalonzo Musyoka, Wiper seems to be working with Team Tanga, the Wiper party. Because actions always speak louder even than strong denials. Because even as we speak, former Senator Johnson Muthama is marshalling his troops in Ukambani to officially join the ranks of Deputy President William Samoei Ruto's bid for 2022 for the presidency. Anyway, I will cover that in a video very soon. But for now, I want you to take careful note of the fact that clearly the Senator Johnson Sakaja, was in the president's mind. It's as if it was the same person speaking. Only this time the president went further and suggested more drastic action to deal with what happened with the Sonko case. Now, for those who took in WIB number 25, my weekly intelligence briefings number 25, you will understand that even though Sonko is out on bail, mambo bado, tena bado sana. And trust me, this thing is not a joke. Anyway, I suggest that if you're not a member of the WIBs, take advantage of the special offer and make sure you catch WIB number 25. Details of that should be on your screens right now. Then you'll completely understand what I'm talking about. But bottom line, going forward, we should expect less and less patience from Team Kieleweke towards Team Tanga. Now, before I go, Chief Justice David Maraga, as promised earlier in the show, this Chief Justice is very different from Kenya's first Chief Justice under the 2010 Constitution, William Mutunga. The fact that Chief Justice Mutunga abolished the old colonial wigs, which don't make sense to me either, and then Chief Justice Maraga brought them right back, very traditional Maraga, that alone should tell you a lot. Now, don't get me wrong, I am not defending the government in this very dangerous game it's playing against the judiciary. No, I'm not. But when a Chief Justice starts talking about not getting a Mercedes-Benz as big as that of another government official, you have to start wondering. And of course the public, the ordinary mwananchi, starts getting very confused. And then one cannot help but wonder who gets punished more when a Chief Justice misses a national holiday celebration? Is it the government in power or the people of Kenya? In my view, the Chief Justice has a very worthy cause. However, the way he's playing his cards, there is the very real danger of the public completely losing track and losing focus of the real and very serious crisis facing the Kenyan judiciary as we speak. Until next time, this is Chris Kumekucha.